Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of The Upside of Down. I'm Jeff Testanero. We're going to discuss a lot of things, especially men-related issues in a modern world, and how certain things are kind of lies, are kind of holding you back, kind of holding us back as a gender, kind of, mistruths, if you will. And our first episode is going to deal with a major mistruth, the power of positive thinking. Positive thinking, while in some ways it could motivate you, but a lot of the ways, honestly, the perils of positive thinking are holding you back. The perils of positive thinking, if you think positive things will happen, which is not true. You kind of have to go out and just do it yourself. That's another episode too. Just doing things yourself. Just sitting around and thinking positive, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. It might lead to some positive action, but does it really lead to positive action? Not really. The only positive action comes from you. Thinking positive all the time can actually lead to, increased levels of depression, believe it or not, can actually lead to you sitting around and not doing anything and just waiting for things to happen. And waiting for things to happen is pretty much death. It's pretty much death for your motivation as a human. Constant positive thinking leads you nowhere. Sometimes you have to think negative to motivate yourself into doing things. Sometimes, negative thinking can actually drive you harder than just sitting there and thinking positive. Let's say you get hurt emotionally. Let's say you get hurt. Somebody hurts you. Somebody lies to you. Somebody, holds you back. Somebody wrongs somebody that you love, and just turning the other cheek and thinking positive, what's it going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's actually going to let people off the hook. If you sit there and you fester in some of your negative thinking, it motivates you to get your ass up and do something, to get your ass up and just fucking do it, to get your ass up and take charge, to get your ass up and push you farther. A lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I really don't give a shit. You can disagree with me all you want. But constant positive thinking is actually a negative. Constant positive thinking leads you to kind of become complacent. If you use some of these negative feelings and negative energy that you have inside you, you need it. You need the negative to fuel you. You need the negative and the anger to kind of push you to be better. The perils of positive thinking, it only shows one side. You do need both sides. Now, I'm not saying it's totally, negative, that your thinking needs to be totally negative, that you only use, the negative thinking or the anger or whatever, but it might be able to fuel positive action. And that's where we get the yin and the yang. The black pushes the white, while the white pushes the black in the yin yang. So if you sit there and you think all white and all positive all the time, it's not going to push you. If you really look at, your desire, your drive, your motivation, that's not all just positive thinking. Somebody telling you can't sometimes is the best motivator to really push you to be the best that you can be. It helps. It does help. The negative thinking does help. It really, really, really does. The negative thinking can help, make you stand up and bust your ass and really kind of motivate you to, do what you want. Start that podcast. You tell people you want to start a podcast, and what do? What's their first? Podcast is just an incident. Let's say you want to become a pilot. You've spent all this time working within the system, but in reality, your dream is to be a pilot. Let's use pilot instead of podcast. And somebody says, you can't be a pilot. You have to go to work. You can't be a pilot. You have to, cover this, or you have to, support that, or you have to get up and be a good functioning member of society. Why can't you be a pilot? That's gonna motivate you. If that doesn't motivate you, if somebody's laughing at you, I've had many people laugh at me when I tell them I'm going to be a professional podcaster. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and nothing really can stop me. I've had people laugh at me. I've had people tell me that I can't do it, that I just need to go out and get that standard 9-to-5 job, that I need to go out and, be a productive member of society, to give up my dreams, to give up everything that drives me, and just, but think positive. The positive side is you have good health insurance. I mean, I have good health insurance now, but, the positive is money. You make more money if you go work your 80-hour-a-week job for some guy that doesn't appreciate you, or with people who aren't nice to you, or, if you go out there and you bust your butt for absolutely no reason, then all of a sudden one day they let you go. Where did that positivity go? Where did that positivity go? It is nice to have people say, you can do it, you can do that podcast, you can become a pilot, I believe in you. Does that work? Does that really work, though? It's like, oh, I'm glad you believe in me. For me, personally, I do better when somebody looks at me and go, you can't. You can't do that. You can't, make money off your podcast. You can't become a pilot. You can't, go out and run for public office. You can't. Can't. Fuck you, I can't. And that's what you have to do. You have to take that negative and sit down and go, yes, I can. And put your nose to that grindstone and really, really, really push yourself to become the best part of yourself. You can really use, negative feedback to push you. You can use a divorce. You can use, what if your partner, commits adultery? You can use that. Sometimes you just have to sit down and think, and I'd say relish, but, really consume yourself, push the positive out, and really think long and hard about how you're feeling. And it's okay to be angry. It's okay. You don't push that down. It's okay to be sad. Eventually, you're going to say, fuck this. You're going to stand up and you're going to do what you want to do. And everybody's like, oh, well, look at the positive. You have, this to look forward to and that to look forward to. It's like, but do I? Sometimes the positive thinking will actually keep you down. Will keep you complacent. And complacency is really bad. Really, really, really bad. Yeah, my wife left, but hey, I've got my kids. Hey, I've got my house. Well, now you have to go through a custody battle. Now you have to go through who's going to get the house. Now you have to go through possible child support. Now you have to go through this, and, where did that positivity get you? If you sit there and go, that fucking bitch left. Fuck that. I'm going to go be the best part of myself. Which is where the negative fuels the positive. Which is where the negative kicks in and kicks your ass and gets you moving. Thinking positive is not conducive to positive results. It's just not. It's a peril. It's a cycle you get stuck in. You don't get stuck in the negative cycle. You don't. The more negative things that happen to you, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more positive you can be about yourself. The more you can push things to be positive. Thinking positive doesn't push you to make things better. Thinking negative pushes you to make things better. Thinking that everything's fucked and I need to fix it. That's where the thinking comes in. If everything's good, you're not going to push yourself to be better. You're going to be complacent and just sit there and take what comes to you. You're just going to sit there and deal with it. If everything's positive, oh yeah, my wife left, but hey, at least I'm healthy. No. Oh hey, I have a decent job that, I can just go to and just loft through, and then eventually you're probably going to lose that job. If you wake up and go, fuck, I have to fix things in my life. Fuck, I have to, change things in my life because this happened. If you really feel your anger and your negative emotions, that will get you off your ass. That will get you off your ass to do better. And that's what this is about. Doing better with the down. The upside of being down. The upside of things not going right. You just have to realize that, yeah, things are bad. Yeah, things hurt. Yeah, you emotionally hurt. You can't just ignore it. Which is what a lot of these quote-unquote life coaches or, positive affirmation podcasts will tell you to do. I'm good. I'm a good person. What if you're not a good person? What if you're just not? A lot of the bad people are successful people. And that's just the way it is. That's just kind of how the world is. Being a good person gets you nowhere. Being a positive thinker gets you absolutely nowhere. And that's what you really have to realize to be better. To be a better you. Using the negative to push your actions to make things better for yourself, for your family, if you have one. If you're a single dad, for you and your children. It's silly to me to think that thinking positive is going to produce positive results, because it really doesn't. It really doesn't. It just makes you complacent. Makes you happy to be in the hole that you're in. And makes you happy to be, in the rut that you're in. And makes you happy to be in the job that you hate. I spent many, many years in jobs that I hated. Many, many, many years. And something happened to me that was a negative. I got up every day. I dealt with the shit at my job. Whatever shit got thrown at me, I dealt with it with a smile and everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And after a number of years, things weren't okay. And I had to face, the looming specter of, I'm not at this job anymore. One day, it was just, I was no longer needed. And that happens to a lot of us. That happens to the majority of us. One day, you're just not needed. And no matter how many positive vibes you let out, no matter how much positivity you let towards your coworkers, or if you work with people, with the public, your customers, or anything, that just didn't matter anymore. Bottom line is, they just shit canned you. So what did I do? What did I do? Well, I stewed in it. And I said, I'm just going to sit down for a minute. Figuratively, literally, emotionally, I'm just going to sit down for a minute and take a few breaths and realize this is for the better. This huge negative thing, these negative feelings,